mounted trinity, as I call it, right? So it's the armbar, triangle, omoplata. That's my trinity. So we learned it from the full guard. Okay, let's do it from the mount. All right. So again, the armbar and triangle, those two are going to fit together very, very nicely. And then the last part, the omoplata, is going to be sort of like a hybrid omoplata from the mount. So like a hybrid monoplata, I call it. Okay, so we'll get to that. But let's start off with a really quick drill, understanding that when I'm in the mount, all right, sometimes being stubborn with holding the mount will get you caught in half guard. Okay, so always understand that you're never too good for a position to let it go. All right, you're better off letting go of the mount and maybe staying past the person's guard than getting caught in their half guard, and now they have the ability to sweep and attack you. Okay, past half guard, side control, there's very little attacking options. Right now, everybody's doing the buggy choke now. It's like, okay, great. Still, half guard is generally better than side control is better than being half guard, okay? Or knee to belly, which we're gonna get to, okay? So, I start in mount. I got Sullivan in the mount, okay? Whether it's a technical escape or it's just a bully escape where he just trying to throws me left and right, okay? If I feel like I'm losing the position, I always want to think about dismounting. Okay, so if I have my hands on the ground, we're rolling. As he goes to throw me one way or another, right, if I try to hold on to the mount, right, hold on to the mount, and he's going to start to roll me over. Okay, so I'm feeling that energy, right? What I want to do is, since his hands are on me, I can have my hands on him or I can put my hands on the mat. I want to dismount to the direction that he's throwing me. So it's really simple. As he throws me, I'm just going to bring my heel to my butt, and I'm going to windshield wiper it over and end up in a knee to belly position. Now, if he keeps trying to drive me in this direction, I at least have something that I can push back on. Okay, and then from there I can gather my underhook, work to flatten him out, and get back to my mount position. Okay, so it's just a really simple windshield wiper drill back and forth. Okay, so we're going to windshield wiper to knee to belly, we're going to get our underhook, and we're going to drive back to the mount, and then they're going to do the other side. So it's just real simple. He bumps and rolls, boom. Windshield wiper my foot, catch it there, all right, get my underhook, drive it back to the mount, and then we're here. Pushing me the other way, boom, knee to belly. I'm bypassing his legs. Underhook, drive 90 to the floor, right back to the mount. All right? Even if, let's rotate a little bit, even if he does a nice technical escape, like if he technically gets framed, shrimp, brings his knee through, right? Even if he does a technical escape, I have to notice and recognize that I'm losing the position. As he starts the frame escape, boom, I'm bypass his legs. And then from here, I'm still on top, still in past his guard. Okay, so regardless if he does a technical frame escape or he just tries to bridge and roll you over, if you feel like you're losing the mount, dismount. Cut that foot across the hip line and go to knee to belly. All right? So it's real simple. Whether he does a technical escape, again, whatever side, technical escape. That's it. So now I'm still past his guard. All right? And then from here, if he turns into me, I can get side control. If he tries to turn away, I take his back. Okay? But it's just kind of using a little bit of footwork and learning how to windshield wiper. So again, we're here. He pushes. Doesn't matter which side. Boom. Right there. Nice kickstand, knee points up, here, gather my underhook, drive back to the floor, and then I can get right back to the mount. Goes the other side, boom, windshield wiper. Now I can use my shin to flatten him back out as I gather the underhook. Boom. All right, so just a real simple drill, back and forth, maybe 3 or 4 times, just learning how to put my hands on the mat so that my hips are nice and light. Boom, dismounting. All right, making sure you're bringing your heel to your butt, and then windshield wiper bring it over. Don't just try to step back. All right? Step back to knee to belly, you're going to get caught in half guard. So we always bring our heel to our butt, and then windshield wiper it over, and we stick to knee to belly. All right, so again, here, he pushes. Boom. All right, have my hands on the mat just initially to make my hips light, and then once I get my knee to belly, I can put my hands back, get my underhook, smash back down to the mount position, and then do the other side. Okay, very simple. Any questions? Okay, on 3. 1, 2, 3. All right, so here and over there. Back up a little bit. So we're just working the mounted triangle to start, and everything is going to build off of the mounted triangle. So first we're going to just learn it as a very clean template, and then from there we're going to show you a more realistic live rolling variation. All right? So we're here, we're in the mount. Boom, he's got his hands kind of protecting normal hand position for the mount. Right from here, what I want to do is pull up on one, push down on the other. Okay, boom, that's it. Okay, the arm that I'm pushing down with, that corresponding leg, I want to shoot my hips forward, and I want to sit right on that arm, just like that. Okay, making sure that I bring my hips forward. I don't want to leave my hips behind and bring the leg around. I got to make up way too much space. So we're here, boom, push and pull. I shoot my hips forward. Now that hand that was pushing the arm down, I don't have to because now I'm sitting on it. I reach up, I lift the head up, and then I cut this foot underneath. Perfect. Okay. Now from here, just like finishing the triangle in the full mount, I have to work to change the angle of my body, okay? So what I want to do is basically try to get my shins perpendicular to or parallel to each other. Right now they're more or less perpendicular. So I want to rotate my hips, so now my shins are more or less parallel. Right? Yeah, and then just loosen up a little bit.
Yeah, right? I've experienced it. It sucks.
So now from here, I gotta try to get the bottom foot inside of my knee joint. So all I'm gonna do is lean forward. It's gonna bring my foot up off the ground. I'm gonna slip my knee underneath it, and now I'm right here. All right, perfect. Squeeze my knees together, and if I have to, I can pull up on the head. Right? But it's so tight right here. All I'm doing is kind of just sitting back and just squeezing my knees together. Okay? Real simple, just like this. Bring those knees together. Especially in the mount too. Wow. The guys, you got longer legs. You got to cut a little bit more of an angle because it's very easy for you to get that notch lock. But with longer legs, yeah, you get that triangle position, but there's so much space between your legs because you're taller, right? Shorter guys, it's harder to get that foot behind the knee, but once it's in there, man, it's done. And it doesn't have to necessarily be right behind the knee. I can get here, boom, lift the head, cut my angle, even if my foot is kind of behind my calf, as long as I'm pinching my knees together.
From here, it looks like your knees are in like one line.
Yeah, they are. So once I'm here, right, I'm here, right, I turn and cut the angle. Now here's my shins. Lean forward, fit it right there, boom. It's no different than in the full guard, right? When you're cutting the angle, and you cut the angle good enough, your shins are more or less parallel to each other. Okay, so this is just, and then next we're going to show you more of like a realistic way to set it up. Because again, it's going to be hard to pull somebody's arm away from their body like this when they're locking their elbows down. Okay, but we're just kind of learning the basic template of the triangle. Push, pull, sit through, lift the head, cut the foot. Here's the rotation. I put all my weight on this knee. Rotate. So I kind of like use my leg to push his arm into his face. So, okay. Boom. Lean, catch right here. Finish the triangle. I don't even have to do anything. Just gonna release the triangle a little bit. If I want the arm, it's just right here. I just drive my hips this way, boom. Okay, I can bring the leg over the face like this and finish the arm bar. But if you have the triangle kind of locked in good, man, boom, right here. Happens with here is they gotta rotate their thumb and start to bring it back, and then the triangles, it's a little bit more safe. Boom, right here. Boom, triangle. If you want, arm bar. Very simple. To the other side. Push and pull. Hip comes through. All right? I don't really care too much about this hand. If it's in there, it could be a little bit of a headache. But realistically, man, I'm sitting on it. If it was the other way around, if he was on top and now it's going to be easier for him to drive that arm through and kind of get back into my full guard. But him being on top, it's going to be very difficult. Turn, cut the angle, lean, catch, right here. Squeeze the knees together, or I got the arm bar right here. Okay? Just a standard template, mounted triangle. And then from there, we'll do a variation, more realistic live rolling. Okay? Questions? All right, on three. 1, 2, 3. All right, cool. All right, time. All right, so that's just standard template to teach you the leg positioning. All right, the whole setup with the arms, we'll do something different. That's gonna be a little bit more realistic. Okay, because again, the guy's got his arms down like this, kind of standard, protection of the mount. It's gonna be hard for you to pull their arm away from their chest. Right? If they're pushing you, that's when we start swinging for arm bars, right? But generally, their arms are gonna be here tight. Right? So now we're gonna kind of look at a little variation. Okay, so we're here. All right, we're low. Again, I'm generally, unless there's punches being thrown, I'm generally not posturing up in the full mount. I'm low, right, so that I have good low base. I can control the head, your cross face, okay, whatnot. So again, generally, you don't see too many people posturing up unless there's punches being thrown. So you're usually playing like low mount, middle mount with like low posture, okay? Again, so we're here, all right? So now, what I want to do is I want to work to isolate one arm, all right, so that I can kind of get it out of the way. Right? That's going to be the one arm technically in. But I got one arm out of the way. So how I'm going to do it here? We're here, all right? Cross facing, whatever. All right? I want to use one arm and I want to just lift his elbow up off the ground. Just to clear a little bit of space for my knee. I want to kind of start to slide into a modified mount position. So we're here, cross facing. I lift the elbow up and slide my knee up. Just like that. Right from there, I bring my hand and I'm going to swim it inside of his elbow. And I want to get that arm out of there. And then I work to hug right here. I'm having my weight kind of this way. I'm kind of leaning this way, because if I sit too far back, this is going to be where he's going to start to come up on top. I could use that as bait. You know, as he starts to come up, I can pin the wrist and get the triangle here from, but this is more likely he's going to come up on top from here. So that's kind of like a sacrifice triangle. I want to get to the mount, and I want to try to finish it from there. If I have to, after I've kind of got 99% of the way there, then I can roll to my back and finish it. But I don't want to initially get it there. I want to try to get it here. Okay? So need an elbow connection, kind of hunkering down on this arm right here so that he can't, if I'm here with all this space, he's just going to weave his arm back inside, and now I have maybe other options. But I want the triangle, so I keep myself hunkered down right here. Weight's kind of forward a little bit, so I'm driving my weight in this way. All right, perfect. Depending on if his hand's out, I can pin it to the floor here, but generally it's going to be in tight, so I'm just going to pin it right here. Okay, all in one motion. I'm going to posture up a little bit, lift his head up off the ground, and I'm going to all the way, right there. Now we're in the triangle. Okay, if I keep his arm behind me, right, I can finish the triangle, but it's a little bit harder, right? So if you can finish the triangle just by rotating, catching it here and finishing it. Great, I got the triangle. I can do the arm bar right here, okay? But if you're getting here to this position and you're having trouble cutting the angle, maybe the guy's got bigger shoulders or whatever, then I'm gonna hip through, bypass the arm, and then cut my angle and finish it right here. And then we have the same options that we did just a second ago with the template. So again, it's just a little bit more realistic. We're playing low posture. Maybe we're basing out right here. Boom, 1. Swim the arm through, 2, right here, boom. Making sure that I keep his head up off the ground. I need that space to cut this leg, okay? When I'm ready, I pin the wrist, lift the head in posture, boom. I can even grab my shin right here as extra reinforcement. Get those shins parallel, lean, boom, finish. If I want, boom. Right here, if you're having trouble finishing it right from here, this is where I could roll to my back, adjust the angle a little bit more if I need to, and finish it from the bottom position. But I want to try to get like 90% of the way there before I roll to my back. Right angle, right here, right, basing out, lift, boom. Right from here. Clear that arm, hug the head. Pin the wrist, posture, lift, catch, right here. Make sure that this knee is really tight up against the neck. No space. Right, so make sure that the back of your knee fits tightly against the carotid artery. Boom, right here, lift, posture, boom. Like that, track that. If I have to, I can bypass the arm, cut my angle, finish it right here, or finish it right here. But again, see my shin position. My shins are very parallel to each other, just like this. If I try to do it here like this, you know, I need more flexibility in my knee, and there's less pinch. Here, that's where the triangle is. Parallel. Boom, that's the squeeze. Here, basing out, posture, whatever, controlling, basing out, lift, catch. Boom. Right there. Finish it, finish it, finish it, finish it. All right, any questions? 1, 2, 3. All right, time. All right, cool. All right, so now this is going to be this kind of mounted omoplata armbar kind of hybrid that I've seen done, I've developed myself. So whether you get the shoulder lock or the elbow, hyperextension, it's going to be a lot based on like how the person starts to adjust his arm, depending on where the pressure is. So regardless if it ends up being a shoulder lock or an elbow, kind of like a modified armbar, it doesn't really matter. I'm working on putting so much torque on one arm that I'm going to get something out of it. So here's the situation. I get to that mounted triangle. He's going to wrap his arms around my hip. You'll see it from the full guard, right? If you get the triangle, they're going to wrap their arm behind your thigh, and you kind of get stalled out there. A lot of times you go to the omoplata from there. So we're going to do the same kind of idea, except we're going to try to attack the omoplata from the mounted position. So everything's the exact same. Boom, I get here, I clear, right? Boom. So as I bypass this arm, boom, he's going to lock his hands together, right? Locking his hands together. So now, again, depending on my body type, it's going to be hard to kill this space right here because he's got this arm, right? I'm trying to turn it. He's locking his elbow down, right? Yes, it's going to be hard to cut that angle. So now watch what I do. Instead of rolling this way, I'm going to roll this way, Okay? I want to put my hip and elbow on the ground, making sure that this leg stays heavy on his face, because I don't want him to come up on top of me. So watch what I'm doing. I'm going to start to roll this way, and I'm going to kick this leg out underneath, making sure that I'm stomping the ground with this leg. Okay? If I don't, he's going to come up on top, and now I got to deal with, I can still finish it again. Right? But I want to keep him here. So I stomp in here. I can cross my ankles if I want to. Okay? Pinching my knees together, and this is the position that I start from. Okay, I want to keep myself kind of balled in there. I want to keep this arm trapped. So now watch what I do. I'm going to reach with my top side arm, and I'm going to come deep to his elbow. Right here. Okay, now what I'm doing is I'm going to unlock my guard, so I'm going to put my foot on the ground, but I'm still pinching. Okay, I want to use my feet to start to scoop my hips out. Okay, if he keeps his arm bent, it's going to start attacking the shoulder. Okay, so watch right here. I stay on my elbow. I'm going to get this arm right here. I'm going to start to pull up on it. All right, as I start to circle my hips out. If he holds his arms together, it's going to start putting a tremendous, that's what he's going to do. He's usually going to let go to straighten his arm out to put pressure away from his, all I do is I keep going. All right, so I tell you. From here, his arm is completely straight. Now the shoulder lock is probably going to be less effective, but all I'm going to do is start to lean into his wrist and pull on his elbow. Right there. Okay? You see? Continue. All I'm doing is continuing to rotate my hips underneath and pulling up on this elbow. Again, it's hard to know right now where is he feeling it the most? The shoulder or the elbow? I don't really know. I don't really care. I'm just adding extreme torque to this one arm. Okay, so it's like kind of like an omoplata, because it could be affecting the shoulder, but it could be like a variation of an armbar because his arm is straight. Okay, but get to the position and just work on pinching the knees together and torquing on that arm, and you're gonna get something. Catch. Lock his hands together. Right, so I fall this way, right here. Heavy, heavy, driving his face to the floor. I stay on my elbow, scoop, like how I put this foot out, right there. I just keep, right there. Yeah, I can see it in his face, right? If for whatever reason his arm comes out, and I just square back up, and I finish it here. If he drives into me, I finish the triangle. Okay? Yeah, they all kind of fit nicely together. If you keep scooping your hips out, eventually you're going to just go to the standard armbar from that position. Okay, but this one's really cool. It puts a weird amount of torque on their shoulder. All right, the right body type, it's like instant. So right here. Lift, clear, switch. Grabs his hands together. Right here. This is the position. Scoop the elbow. Ooh, yeah. So I'm not opening up my legs. I'm not scooping open. His arm's gonna get out. Again, I can go to the arm bar, but I want to keep it in there. So I put my foot on the ground, but I'm still pinching with his knee. See? That's what I'm doing there. As I scoop my way out. All right. Again, if I don't feel like I can't scoop anymore, then I'll usually let the arm go and come right over to it and finish the arm bar. Okay? But give it a shot. It's a really good position to control. All right? On three. 1, 2, 3.